Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. This is going to be not too long of a video because it was a pretty easy diagnosis and repair. I haven't done the repair yet, I have got it running, but this vehicle just died out on the road and it coasted in. Somebody that, you know, he's swept floors here, we do work for the family, so they knew us, so they knew exactly where to drag it to get it off the road. I did get a text from him yesterday morning, said he was his grandpa's truck, and he said, well, you know, grandpa said he'd done it before and it's just a fuse. Well, I take that into account, but that is not the diagnosis. What we've got is, I forget what year, I don't know what year, a Ford truck, 2008 Ford F-150 4.2 V6. So a pretty simple one. Now, crank it. First thing you think of whenever you're doing these is fuel pump driver module. Well, I can hear the fuel pump running. I think it's pretty quiet. You know, it's supposed to be quiet, but I can hear the fuel pump running. So, I mean, I confirm that. I go up here. It doesn't have a regular fuel tap, so I just pull this off and squirt a little starting fluid in it and crank the engine, and it does not start. Okay. It's not lack of fuel that's keeping it from starting. So I go in there and I get a spark tester. Put it on a spark plug wire, stick it up on the windshield, crank it over. Crank, 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 crank. No spark. Okay. It don't have any spark. Could be crank sensor, could be any number of things. But, you know, back in my mind, he said it had a blown fuse at one time and it fixed it. Okay, well, I hooked the computer up, I get the codes, and it's got a slew of codes in it, but what piqued my interest is primary coil circuit A, primary coil circuit B, primary coil circuit C. Okay, we've got an issue with the coil, and since it's everything, it's probably got a blown fuse. But here's the point of my video. Why does it have a blown fuse? I have already figured it out. You can see down there, that is the suppressor. It is a capacitor hooked into the power line so that you don't hear it in the radio when you wind it up. You can see on that pipe there, that's an exhaust pipe. That's the EGR pipe that goes up here to the intake right there. So that's exhaust, so that's hot. And you can see it was sitting on it and it just cooked it. So did it do this before? Yeah, most likely. But the most important thing, whenever you've got a blown fuse, I'm guilty of this, just sticking a fuse in it and going, but you got to be realistic. If you've got like a power outlet fuse or something like that, most likely you plug something into it and it overloaded the circuit, and you just don't do that again. But when you have something like this, whether you got a fuel pump or a wiper motor, well, they got circuit breakers, anything with a fuse on it that is, you know, dedicated to the vehicle, like the coil, and you blow a fuse, you need to stop and find out why. Now, this wasn't too fun to get to. It's a 15 amp fuse right up there in between those relays. The center fuse, 15 amp. And here we've got the blown fuse, as you can see. A very simple deal, but at the same time, you have to find out the reason why. Last time it was done, the reason why was not found, and it ran for a long time. He's had this truck for a year or better, so it's been over a year that it happened before. Might have been 2 years, who knows? But At some point, it got hot right there and scratched around. It just barely touched it, just enough to blow the fuse. And then the short was gone after it cooled back off, but the fuse remained blown. Think about that whenever you're doing work on your own vehicle. If you've got a blown fuse to something like that, find out why it blew. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.